Now in this video, we're going to demonstrate how to save red lines, a specific camera location or area you're zoomed into the model, as well as selected objects to a saved view. That way you can easily share this view with other people so that way they can take action on your comments, or you can save this view in this area for yourself for a later review at a different time. Now here you can see that we've got all of our annotations and these objects selected, and I've even changed the color of the opening here. Now all we need to do is come down to our Views toolbar at the bottom of the screen, and we're going to go ahead and press this Add View icon. Then we can go ahead and name the view and say Door Opening Clash. Then that's now renamed. And what we'd like to do is we'd also like this view to automatically appear on our data tab. So when we first log into this project, we can easily see that view. So if we right click on this, we can easily say Add to Data tab. Then when I come over here to the Data tab, that now appears. Now in the 3D view, let's say that we want to actually rotate into a different perspective. You can see here that the markups are all 3D objects. Let's go ahead and create another view. Now what we can do is we can see that we've got two views here from different perspectives. If I just drag this view onto the other view, it now creates a new group. And so I can rename this group to Door Opening Clash. All right, so let's go ahead and go to the views inside of that group. And then what we can do is we're going to update the view. So let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit more, and it will clear the selection of objects. And maybe I'll even delete one of these dimensions. Now what I can do is I can right click on this and say Update View. This then stores the new camera location and all of the changes in the red lines and selection that I had. Now, if I go ahead and just simply double click here on the door opening, you'll see that all the red lines, selected objects, and camera view are returned to that saved view. If I then double click here on the Clash View 2, you'll see the dimension is removed and the camera is changed to that saved view. So that's how you can easily update a view if you've changed anything and need to resave it. To go outside of that particular view group, you can simply just click on the Back to Album, and that brings you back to the main toolbar for views. Now let's go ahead and say that we want to share these views with other users. So we can go ahead and select on the view, right click, and say Share. When we do this, we can share this with other entire user groups or individual users. Let's go ahead and share this with the project management group. This then sends an automated email notification that those views have then been shared with the members of that group. Then when those members of that group log into Trimble Connect Desktop, they'll be able to see those views that I've shared with them. Now let's do a more advanced application of saved views. We're going to create some structural floor plans. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to unload the architectural model because we only want to concern ourselves with structural. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the objects layer and I'm going to select all of the slabs in the model. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the transparency of those objects to very transparent or mostly transparent. And then what I'm going to do is I'm also going to set this to a light gray color. That way it's easy to see through the slab and see the structural beams. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create a clipping plane here in the model. So I'm going to activate the clipping plane, select on the top surface of that roof steel, and then I'm going to drag the clipping plane down here to the foundation level. I could also go ahead and choose to switch this to an orthogonal view if I'd like, and then zoom around, and then I can evenly rotate myself if I wanted a more 2D centric view. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and keep it at 3D, and then just rotate to a nice isometric view. Now let's go ahead and say that we want to make the piers and pier caps to all be a particular color. Now what we can do is we can right click and then we can go ahead and say let's change that color to be red so that way it's very easy to see all of those particular objects. So we've done a variety of different things here. We've changed transparency, we've changed color, we've added a clipping plane here in the model, and we've set the camera location to be zoomed to a specific area for the foundation. Now let's go ahead and create a view. So now I added another clipping plane, which is in the opposite direction of the first clipping plane I had, so that way I can easily clip above a floor as well as below a floor. And now I'm clipping here this specific second floor framing steel. And I'm going to repeat the process here of just creating another view, and we'll call this second floor. And again, if I'd like to, I could easily just drag this on top of the foundation so I have a new group, and we could call this floor plans. Now, creating views just like this makes it easy for you to organize the model in a familiar way that people are used to with 2D drawings. In many cases, a set of design drawings or construction drawings are organized by floor or by sequence or phase, or even by different sections or areas of the building. And so saved views is another way of easily doing that and creating a digestible organization to your model. So let's go into floor plans group, and let's go back to the foundation layer. You can then see those objects are colorized and the clipping plane is down at the foundation. Let's easily switch to the second floor. So now here we're seeing only the second floor framing, and we can interact, review, redline, or do anything that we would like to with this particular area of the project. Another way that we can leverage saved views is by representing the different sequences or phases of construction in the field. Let's go ahead and organize the groups of objects here based on the phase property. Here we can see all of the objects and quantities in the different sequences or phases. Let's go ahead and select on phase 287. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and change the color of this to be red so that way it sticks out. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select and hold down Control and select all of the other phases or sequences on the project. I'm going to then go ahead and right click, and I'm going to set these properties or colors to all be gray and then also be mostly transparent. From here I can just go ahead and create a new view, and this would then be called phase 287. I would then just repeat this process for each of the different sequences, and then I could add them and organize them into a view group.